When multiplying decimals, you can start by multiplying the numbers as if they were whole numbers. So rewriting this problem as 247 times 32. You can use any multiplication strategy that you like, whether that's traditional or the generic rectangles. If I multiply this using the traditional method, I'm going to multiply 2 times 7, which is 14. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 2 times 2 is 4. I'll use a placeholder and do 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 is 14. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. I will add these together to get 7,904. Now, it's pretty clear that that's not my answer because I'm multiplying decimals. And if you were to estimate, I'm multiplying about 2.5 times 3. I don't think an answer of 7,904 makes a whole lot of sense. So if we talk about where the decimal would be placed, I'm going to start by explaining this in terms of fractions. So 2 and 47 hundredths would be equivalent to 247 hundredths. And 3 and 2 tenths is equivalent to 32 tenths. And if I were to multiply these fractions straight across, I would get 7,904 over 100 times 10 is 1,000. So my answer should be equivalent to 7,904 thousandths. So I need the 4 in the thousandths place, which would put the 0 in the hundredths, the 9 in the tenths place. Therefore, a decimal would belong in between the 7 and the 9. There is a shortcut for this. You don't have to do the fraction multiplication to solve this. If you notice that one of the numbers has 2 digits after the decimal, so tenths and hundredths, and this second number has a single digit after the decimal, 3 total digits after the decimal in the multiplication problem matches the 3 total digits after the decimal in the solution. All right, so looking at one more example, I can multiply these two numbers together as if they were whole numbers. So 13 times 28, using any strategy that you like. I'm going to use the traditional method, so I'll do 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 1 plus 2 is 10. I need a placeholder before I do 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 1 is 2. Add them together, and I get 364. Of course, the answer to this would not make sense to be 364 if I'm multiplying 1 times a decimal. It should be a pretty small number. Thinking again in terms of fractions, 1 and 3 tenths would be the same as 13 tenths. And I'm multiplying that by 28 hundredths. And if I multiply that all together, I would get 364 thousandths. So my answer for multiplying the decimals should be equivalent, 364 thousandths, which places the decimal here in front of the 3. You can use the shortcut again that I showed in the previous example. So here I have one number after the decimal. Here there are 2 numbers after the decimal, for a total of 3 digits after the decimal, and therefore in the answer there are also 3 digits after the decimal.